What is going on, guys? JPOD-SPORTS, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be talking about how the Giants' defensive line looks like a top 5 unit this year. And it's been nothing but astounding. I mean, this defensive line, the first week did not look that great. They had a sack on the first drive against the Vikings on the first offensive drive, and that was it. And it looked pretty good, but then it kind of got a little lazy towards the middle end of the game because I don't know how to do the fact that the offense was not really getting it going. Defense was constant on the field, couldn't catch a break, so could be they were tired and the game just was bad all around. Now, in the first 5 weeks of the season last year, the New York Giants only had 4 sacks, and that might be due to the Wink Martindale game plan of dropping your guy in coverage, your defensive line, instead of just letting your front four pass rush. But that was due to try to get turnovers created. But in the first 5 weeks of this season, the New York Giants have 22 sacks. And they also rank fourth in pass rush win rate and sixth in run stop win rate. Now, 22 sacks compared to 5 sacks the first 5 weeks of last season is just an outstanding improvement. And that's just the Shane Bowen defense. He's not going to do all this fancy stuff where Wink Martindale drops your defensive tackle against like a wide receiver. He's just going to let his 4 best guys pass rush, and that's what he's going to do. And it's been working because you got 3 good players. You got Thibodeau. Unfortunately, he got hurt, though. He will be out 4 to 6 weeks of a wrist injury. He got surgery on it yesterday morning. So these other players going to have to hold on to the fort while he's gone. And then you have Dexter Lawrence, absolute best, probably the best defensive lineman in the league. I don't care what anybody says he's the best defensive lineman in the league. As a nose guard, he's got 6 sacks in 5 weeks. He's double teamed 65% of the time. The guy's unstoppable, and he's a game wrecker. And Brian Burns has been a really good player. Obviously, you look at the numbers, the sacks aren't really there. He's only got 2, but his pressures are there, and his pass rush win rate is there. He ranks 5th in the league in pass rush win rate, which is just phenomenal. You want to win, you want to be able to bend the pocket. Not only do you want, like, his sacks are really important, don't get me wrong, but when you could constantly bend the pocket and create pressure and force the quarterback to step up or try to run away and throw the ball away, that's just as good. Negative plays or plays that don't go for a lot of yardage are good plays. And then you get the Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau, I think he was really coming along before the injury. Obviously, it sucks. He's doing a lot more things with his hands the years past. I mean, he's more like a bull rush, inside move, defensive end. Now he was doing spin moves. He's doing a lot of outside things with his hands, quick jabs up outside, edge rush move. He was looking really good, and it sucks that he's hurt. He's got 2 sacks on the season. I hope he's back soon, but unfortunately, he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. Now, against the Giants' defensive line, which is a really crazy stat, the Giants against opposing quarterbacks have 2.54 seconds to throw. That is the second lowest in the NFL. Now, last year it felt like the opposing quarterbacks set up a campsite against the Giants defense and just destroy the corners. Now, you're not really seeing how bad maybe Cordell Flott is because, which I think he's been playing good, but they're not like a good corner. He's okay, but it's like he's very limited. But the defensive line is kind of hiding that just because of how good it is and how fast it gets to the quarterback. So that's just good to have. When we have a good defensive line, it makes up for the bad secondary. Now, hopefully, one day the Giants have a better cornerback room, and you have both, and it just a force to reckon with. I think the Giants are a cornerback away and another defensive tackle from having like a top 5 defense. They're right there. I think they have the pieces, and they're continuing to go that way. Now, according to NFL research, the Giants' 22 sacks through 5 games of the season is the second most in franchise history with 26 in 1985. And that is the Super Bowl Giants. That is their first Super Bowl of their franchise history. And Florence Taylor, Carl Banks, all those guys were on that team. Actually, I don't know if Carl Banks is on the team yet, but all those guys, the Hall of Fame legends, the Ring of Honor players, all they were a part of that. And now this defensive line has tied that record, which is crazy. And the on Sunday, the Giants' defensive line was really a big reason why we won because they generated 24 pressures, 6 from Burns, 5 from Thibodeau, and 5 from Dexter Lawrence. Now, Dexter Lawrence was a 3-sack game. The guy's just an animal, and he's only getting better, which I'm really excited for. And he's probably going to be this generation's Lawrence Taylor and Michael Strahan. And he's probably a future Hall of Famer. The things he's doing as a nose guard or nose tackle, it's just never been seen before. He's got nose tackle's job is to take on double teams and give space for like a linebacker on a blitz or stop the run game. That's really what his job is. But Dexter Lawrence is a pass rusher nose tackle, which is very rare, and you don't really see that much ever in NFL history. So it's really cool to see what he could become. On the season, he's got 6 sacks, which is second in the league behind Aiden Hutchinson, the edge rusher, who had four and a half in one game. He has the most sacks by a defensive tackle. He has 10 quarterback hits, 16 tackles, 4 for loss, and 13 pressures. And he's double teamed 65% of the time. So as long as you got Dexter Lawrence, this defensive line is going to be good. And obviously, he's going to need the help on the outside with Burns and Thibodeau, which hopefully this is your defensive line for the next 5 years. This is a defensive line that could win a Super Bowl. So it's really cool to see that. And here's another thing I wanted to show was the was time to pressure. Now, you see Brian Burns' time to pressure is 2.19 seconds, which is just insane, which is second in the league behind guys like Myles Garrett in between Chris Jones. Like, it's like you don't see this on this when you look up Brian Burns' stats, but this is things that are important and what GMs and coaches look at because this is what shows up in the film room, not on the stat sheet. So this is really good for Brian Burns, your premier edge, to be doing things like this with guys like Myles Garrett and Chris Jones. Now, the Giants have 3 guys on this list, which is crazy. And that's why they rank with 2.54 seconds, second fewest in the league. A quarterback's time to throw is because these guys are here. Thibodeau with a 2.55 seconds, and then Dexter Lawrence with a 2.76, which it's just insane. So both of those guys, all 3 of those guys under 3 seconds is crazy. That's pretty much about it for today's video. But I mean, this defensive line and this front seven with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden, it's just insane that the Giants' defensive line, the Giants' defense is kind of coming back to its own. Where this is where the Giants really won a lot of championships off of, besides probably 2012, 2011 season, because Eli Manning kind of put the team on his back. But every other Super Bowls, the defense was like top 5 in the league. So when you have a top 5 defense, you're always going to have a chance. And when you have a continuity of the offense and defense, the team's going to be a force to reckon with. So I'm excited for the future of this Giants team, and that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you guys made it this far, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, comment what your thoughts on the defensive line is, and see you guys in the next